A very good evening to all my dear students and welcome to the lecture of Advanced Accounting and Auditing Paper 1, that is Costing. This is Professor Shaurya Shah welcoming you all to my lecture. Dear students, in the last lecture we solved many of the university sums regarding your material costing and we saw the entire revision of the chapter with the formulas and with theory of bin card. Fine. So today also we'll be starting with the sums which I already gave you in the last lecture to solve on your own. Fine. So again today I got many queries from the students regarding the answers. So I am showing you the solution for the same. We'll be solving both the sums today, that is question number 13 and question number 14 of VNSGU 2016. Fine. Again today students I'll be providing you must already have got the notes of the practice sums, right? All the sums which we have solved till now around 19 to 20 in our lectures. Fine. Tomorrow also I'll be taking up sums for this chapter. Then after that you have to solve all the practice sums which are being given in the Google Classroom next week, right? That is again today I'll provide you the notes, then next week I'll provide you the solution for the same. So you have to keep your sums ready so that you can compare your answers with the answers which I have provided for the solutions of the practice sums, right? Do practice it so that your chapters become very much clear. Fine. So the sum you are already having with you, right? Question I had given you yesterday only. You must have studied. We also discussed the sum. So today we'll be solving it very quickly. The question students you are having is question number 13. The figures for 2 years are given, that is 2013 and 2014. Few particulars are given in the question, as you can see. Average stock for the year 2013 is missing, 2014 is 40,000. Opening stock, purchases and adjusted purchase for the year 2013 is given, for the year 2014 it is missing. Adjusted purchase is your cost of goods sold, as you all know. Stock turnover ratio for the year 2013 it is missing, for the year 2014 it is given 4.5 times, right? The sum is very short, but you need to do a lot of calculation in order to find out the missing figures, right? Again, what is asked for 2 years? For 2013 it is asked, the number one is stock turnover ratio and the second is your stock turnover period. Fine. For the year 2014, purchases are given, that is to be calculated, and adjusted purchases are also to be calculated. Fine. So I hope it is clear. Now I suppose that majority of the sums must have been solved also by the students. Fine. Again today we'll be seeing it how you can start, students. I always say whenever missing figure sums are there, right, you always have to start with the thing which is already given. So here if you can see in front of your sum 2013, you have been given one thing called adjusted purchases, right? So what is adjusted purchases? It is cost of goods sold. So when you are having the answer of cost of goods sold, you are having opening stock also, you are having purchase also. So from that immediately it comes to my mind that I can find out the closing stock, right? So we'll be starting with the sum one by one. We'll be going again quickly so that you understand it and you can quickly solve the sum. Fine. Which sum it is? It is your question number 13 of our practice sheet. Question number 13, it is VNSGU 2016. VNSGU 2016, right? Starting with the sum, what has been given, the very first thing we'll start our working, right? We are not calculating the actual thing, but we'll be starting with the working. Cost of goods sold is equals to adjusted purchase, right? Don't many students get confused between the terms. It is same. Cost of goods sold is equals to opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, right? All the things I am having, what I am having, adjusted purchases is 2,05,000, as you can see in the question. Noting down the question is also important, right? So 2,05,000 is the cost of goods sold. Opening stock is 40,000 rupees. Purchases is given in the sum 2,07,000 rupees minus closing stock, right? Closing stock I am not knowing, so I'll suppose it to be X. Now when you solve the equation, X will come on the left hand side and you solve this 2,47,000 rupees plus 2,05,000 gives me the answer of X is equals to how much, right? This will be again deducted because the side is changed. Be careful while changing the size, right? So 2,47,000 minus 2,05,000 gives me the answer of 42,000 rupees, right? So the very first answer we have got in this sum is your 42,000, that is equals to my closing stock, right? Again students, remember whenever you are solving 2 year sum, you need to first write down, right, for which year, because you will get confused between the years. So for the year 2013, your closing stock is 42,000 rupees. Fine. I hope it is clear. Now you can find out on the basis of closing stock. You are having one more information, right? You have to find out the average stock for the year 2013, right? So average stock for the year 2013, how can I find out on the basis of opening and closing stock? So average stock, I'll write down everywhere in the bracket, or you can write down on the top, for the year 2013 is equals to opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2, right? So opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. What is my opening stock? It is already given in the sum, right? 40,000 rupees plus closing stock. Closing stock is 42,000. We found out in the very first equation, divided by your 2. So your answer comes to 82,000 divided by 2, that is equals to 41,000 rupees, right? So my average stock is 41,000 rupees. Hope it's clear to each and every student. Fine. So we have calculated two particulars for the year 2013, right? The next is now what they have asked in your sum that you need to calculate. This is for the basic calculation. We have found out the values. The very first thing for the year 2013. So I'll put up the heading for the year 2013. The first thing they have asked is your stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio, right? Stock turnover ratio, what is the formula? Cost of goods sold upon average stock. Hope you all now are very much clear with this part. We are solving the sum since 2 weeks, right? So cost of goods sold upon average stock. Cost of goods sold, we found out, right? It is already given in the question, 2,05,000 rupees divided by your average stock. Average stock is 41,000 rupees, right? So 2,05,000 divided by your 41,000 gives me the answer of 5 times. 2,05,000 divided by 41,000 gives me the answer of 5 times, right? So this is the very first answer which they have asked in the sum. Is it clear, students? This sum comes for 7 marks, so each answer is equal to your 1.5 marks, right? And apart from that, there are another 1 mark or 2 mark for your working. So first thing I have calculated. The second thing I will start upon, right? So what is my second thing they have asked? Second thing in the sum they have asked is your stock turnover period, right? So stock turnover period. They can also use the term material turnover period. Doesn't make any difference. Your stock is equals to your material, because we are calculating the material costing chapter, right? So what is the formula for stock turnover period, right? It is your 365 divided by stock turnover ratio. Remember students, this is the first time this formula we are using, right? A new formula for you. What does it mean? If in a year I am making the orders for 5 times, my turnover ratio is 5 times, right? So how much time period between each stock turnover, right? So that is 365 divided by your stock turnover ratio is equals to 365 divided by 5 will give me the answer of 73 days. So on an average, my stock is turned over in a single time after 73 days, right? That's why in all 365 days. Understand the concept. This is not a theory subject that you can mug up, right? It is account. So you need to be very much clear with the figures and the concept so that you can understand the points. Fine. Okay. So stock turnover period, you are having 73 days. Stock turnover ratio, you are having 5 times, right? So two things what they had asked, we have calculated. Now starting with the, again we can say 2014, right? So for the year 2014, you need to calculate, students. Fine. So we'll be beginning with the 2014 period. That is for the year 2014, for the year 2014, right? What is being asked for the year 2014? The very first thing they have asked is your purchases, right? But also for your 2014 we need to calculate the missing figures as we did for the year 2013, right? So how to start, students, right? Now the very first thing I am having for the year 2014 is your opening stock of 2014, right? Can even anyone think opening stock is missing, purchase is also missing, and adjusted purchase is also missing, right? But closing stock of last year, suppose take for example we are preparing a balance sheet, 31st March 2012 is my closing date. So 31st March 2012, on that particular day my closing stock will be there. That will be my opening stock for the next year on 1st April 2012, right? So opening stock of current year is the closing stock of last year, always remember. I'm just writing for your knowledge also. Opening stock of 2014 is equals to closing stock of 2013. Always remember this concept, right? So what I am having, closing stock of 2013 we calculated, right? So what is it? 42,000. So I have got the answer of opening stock. I am having the answer of average stock also given in the sum, right? So what is my average stock, students? My average stock given in the sum, average stock is equals to 40,000 rupees. So on the basis of my average stock I can calculate the closing stock, right? So putting up in the formula, 40,000 is equals to 42,000 plus x divided by 2. 42,000 plus x divided by 2, right? So your 80,000 minus 42,000 is equals to x. So my x is equals to, that is the answer for my closing stock I'll be getting is your 38,000 rupees. Hope it's clear to each and every student, right? So this is the very first thing I have got, that is my, again I can say, closing stock for 2014. Closing stock for 2014. Is it clear to each and every student? Fine. Moving on, you have now calculated the closing stock. You are now having the opening stock also, right? Now what you need is your purchases and what you need is your adjusted purchases. Fine. So we'll be starting with that part. The very first thing in that is your, again I can say, you are having the answer of stock turnover ratio, right? So we'll be taking that as base. Stock turnover ratio 2014, stock turnover ratio 2014 is equals to, right? Stock turnover ratio 2014 is equals to cost of goods sold upon average stock. Here you are having the answer of stock turnover ratio 4.5 times. Cost of goods sold I am not knowing, students. So average stock I am knowing. So what is the value of average stock? Average stock is given in the sum 40,000. So if I multiply this, then I'll get the answer of cost of goods sold is equals to 40,000 into 4.5. That will give me the answer of 1,80,000, right? So 1,80,000 is my cost of goods sold, or we can say adjusted purchase. Fine. Hope it's clear to each and every student. So just take the link, consider it in a story form, whatever is missing, try to find out the first thing, relate the points, and then start with the next part. Clear, all of you? So this is the part, that is cost of goods sold, you have found out. On the basis of cost of goods sold, now you can easily find out the purchases, right? So what will be my purchases? My cost of goods sold is equals to opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So cost of goods sold 1,80,000 is equals to opening stock. Opening stock for this is 42,000 plus purchases I am not knowing, minus closing stock is my 38,000, right? So you can calculate on the basis of this what will be your purchases. Take right hand side, left hand side, then your final answer for purchase will be 42 minus 38 is 4,000 and 4,000 comes here. So purchases is 1,76,000 rupees. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine. So 1,76,000 is my purchase. So the first answer which was needed, that was purchases, and the second answer that was needed is my adjusted purchase, right? So that is number 3, that is number 4. So 4 answers they have asked and 4 answers I have completed, right? Is it clear to all the students? Fine. I give you 5 seconds. You can go through the sum. You can again tally the sum with this part. Then I'll show you the first part. Then we'll be moving on to the next sum. Hope those who have solved the sum must have got the same answer for this thing. Nothing new. It is just the missing sum. On the basis of your concepts, you can solve the sum very easily. Okay, I hope it is done. Just check this part also if anyone has missed it out, right? So that we can move further with the next sum. Question you are already having, students? Fine. I suppose it is done to each and every student. Fine. So we'll be moving on to the next question, that is question number 14. I had given you again a VNSGO 2016 question, right? So we'll be solving this part. What is the given in the question, that we'll discuss first, and then we'll start with the next part, students. Fine. So starting with the question, that is your VNSGO 2016 again. VNSGO 2016. What is the sum all about? Calculate the levels provided by Malav Limited. You have to calculate the following 6 levels. As you always know, it will be the same: reordering level, minimum level, maximum level, safety level, average stock level, and danger level, right? Average stock level is as per EOQ. Fine. Maximum order period for quick purchases 2 weeks, right? So maximum order period it is there, right? For quick purchases, it is not your maximum time, students. Don't get confused between them. In ordering quantity is 1800 units, right? So again, many students asked, what do you mean by EOQ? How you can calculate, right? So in this sum particularly, students, ordering quantity itself is your EOQ. So whenever such type of sums will be there, I have also put up in the practice sums, right? University previous year's paper. So consider ordering quantity as your EOQ. So my EOQ will be 1800 units, right? So what is given in the sum, as you can see in your question, you are having maximum, average and minimum are given, and delivery period and consumption units, right? So maximum consumption, minimum consumption, average consumption, and maximum, minimum and average time are to be given, right? Only 2 things are missing, otherwise everything is given. Fine. So I suppose it is a easy sum, then also we'll solve it. Fine. So that you get clear with this type of sums. This type of sums are again and again asked in your university. Same sum was asked with change in figure in 2019 also, right? So quickly we'll be starting with the sum, students. I hope it is clear to you. This 6 things I always tell you, you need to find out when you start the sum, right? So we'll be calculating one by one. The very first thing is to find out the missing figures, right? Because you need to find out the missing figures. On the basis of that, you will be calculating the levels. So first, I'll write down minimum consumption, minimum time, maximum consumption, maximum time. These 6 things you should have with you basic before starting the sum. So average consumption, average time is equals to average consumption, average time is equals to, here maximum time is given, right? So what is your maximum time, dear students? It is your maximum time is your 6 weeks, right? So you will consider here maximum time, it is your 6 weeks. Maximum consumption is given 120 units. Minimum consumption is given 80 units. Is it clear? Average consumption we are not knowing, it is question mark, and average time is given, that is 5 weeks. Is it clear to all the students? Fine. So average is given 5 weeks. Now as usual we calculate, right? What is your average consumption? Minimum plus maximum divided by 2. So minimum plus maximum, 80 plus 120 divided by 2 gives me the answer of 100 units. Hope it's clear. So average consumption I have calculated. Minimum time. So what is my average time? Average time is equals to minimum plus, that is x plus 6 divided by 2. Here I am not having 10 minus 6 is equals to x. So my minimum time is 4 here, right? I hope it is clear to each and every student. So 4 weeks is my minimum time. Is it clear? So now we are having all the values of 6 things which we need to calculate the formulas. We'll be quickly starting with the formula, students, right? Very first thing they have asked in your sum is your reordering level. What is reordering level? Reordering level is equals to, what is the formula for reordering level, students? It is max, right? Always remember, what is max? Maximum consumption into maximum time. Remember the formula in short form so that you learn by heart. Maximum consumption into maximum time. What is my maximum consumption? Maximum consumption is 120. What is my maximum time? Maximum time is 6 weeks, right? So you will be getting the answer of 720 units. 720 units is my reordering level. Suppose it is clear to each and every student, fine. So reordering level is 720 units. Second thing asked is your minimum level. As you can see in your question, minimum level is equals to, what is the formula for minimum level? It is average, right? So very first thing is your ordering level minus average consumption into average time. Ordering level is equals to average consumption into average time, that is deducted from ordering level, right? Is it clear, all of you? What is the ordering level? We calculated just now, 720 units minus average consumption. Average consumption is 100 units into average time is 5, right? So 720 minus 500 gives me the answer of 220 units. 720 minus 500 gives me the answer of 220 units. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine. So two things they had asked, two things we have calculated, right? On the basis of that, the third thing is your maximum level, right? So they have asked students for the maximum level, right? So what will be my maximum level formula? You all must be aware. What is maximum level? Maximum level is min. Ordering level, first of all I'll write down, maximum level is equals to ordering level. It remains the same, but here two additional things are there. Ordering level minus minimum consumption, that is min into minimum time plus EOQ. Minimum consumption into minimum time plus EOQ, right? So what is my ordering level? Ordering level is 720 minus minimum consumption, I am knowing 80, into minimum time 4 plus EOQ. As I already told you, consider EOQ as your ordering quantity, that is 1800 units, right? So I'll write down EOQ here also so that you come to know EOQ is 1800 units, right? So plus 1800. Solve this. 720 minus your 80 into 4 gives me 320 plus 1800, right? So you will get the answer of 2200 units. Hope it is clear to each and every student. So 2200 units is your answer for your maximum level. Is it clear to all the students? Fine. So first you need to find out the 6 things, then you can easily calculate this part. I hope it is done. Fine. Moving on to the next level which they have asked is your average stock level, right? Average stock level, again it is based upon your EOQ. You can find out on the basis of two things, but here they have clearly told you calculate it on the basis of your average stock level on the basis of EOQ, right? So I'll write down average stock level is equals to What is the formula for average stock level, students? It is minimum level plus half EOQ. Remember, the entire chapter we yesterday also saw in the revision is based upon only 6 formulas, right? So you should be thorough with the 6 formulas. What is my minimum level? Is 220. We found out in the previous equation, plus half into 1800. So what you will be getting is the answer of 1120 units, right? Because 900 plus 220 gives me the answer of 1120 units. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So I suppose it is clear to each and everyone. Next level you are given is your safety level, right? So you need to find out safety level. What is the formula for safety level, students? The formula for safety level is maximum consumption into maximum time minus average time. Maximum consumption into maximum time minus average time, right? Maximum consumption is 120 into 6 minus 5 itself gives me 120 units, right? So safety level, we saw yesterday also. What is safety level? It is the level below which the production should not go, right? So that your production process is not hindered. So safety level is again 120 units. The next is the last level, that is danger level. Danger level, right? What is the formula for danger level, students? Danger level, yesterday also I told you, the name danger itself says, in MCQ also we saw, that is your average consumption into maximum delivery time for immediate purchase or emergency purchase. I gave you the test for knowledge also, right? So that is your delivery time for emergency purchase, already given in the sum, as you can see above the table. So what is my average consumption? My average consumption is 100 into maximum delivery time is your 2, right? Maximum delivery time is your 2 weeks. So my answer comes to 200 units. So my answer comes to 200 units. Hope it's clear to each and every student. Fine. So this is the sum that was VNSG 2016. I hope those who have solved again, though they have also got the same answer for this particular part. Fine. So this is the sum which I gave you in the last lecture. Hope everyone is clear with this part. Right. Again I give you 15 seconds. You can check your sum and you can note this down if you have not yet done it. I hope it is done. Each and every student has completed it. Fine. Now I have provided you the notes for the same, the sum. After completion of this lecture, you will get this part. Fine. So all those sums out of this practice sums which you are having, right? A list of all the sums. We will be solving 4 more different type of sums in tomorrow's lecture, that is of costing. Then rest of the sums you can practice on your own and I'll provide you the solution for the same. Fine, students. So the notes for the material costing and for the sums, you will get it immediately after the lecture is completed. Check your Google Classroom. It will be posted in that part. Fine. So I suppose each and everyone is clear with today's lecture, the sums which we solved, right? Again, I appreciate those who have done the sums. Again, those who have not done it, kindly take it seriously. Practice your sums, then only you will be clear with your cost accounting. Fine. Thank you for your attention, students. This is Professor Shaurya Shah teaching you Advanced Accounting and Auditing Paper 1, that is Costing. Have a nice day ahead, students. Take good care of yourself. See you tomorrow in my next lecture.